Hey everyone, this is Anaris of Anaris StarCraft, and I'm here commentating a best of 5 match that I've received. It looks like it is going to be BorgBear, who is a regular on the StarCraftArena.net forum. See him post in a lot of places, good stuff. And it looks like his opponent for this matchup series is going to be Tempest. Now this is a PvP matchup. And throughout the game, Reaper, I guess he was watching the game. He's going to have some commentaries, so we'll think of this as a dual cast with an imaginary person, which I am okay with. And BorgBear with the early E-Rage attack, I think that is definitely going to give him an economic advantage in this game, as Reaper, I don't think says anything for a while after that. So it looks like Tempest getting out his pylon first at his ramp and then sending out a scout. Looks like he's going to be scouting the opposite direction of BorgBear, so it'll be a little while before he finds him. Meanwhile, BorgBear in his base looks like he is chrono boosting his probes, and his first pylon is complete. Not quite up towards the ramp. We do see some players using pylons at the ramp to kind of block it off. Some keep it back. You know, it is kind of dangerous to keep your pylon up here because sometimes other players will attack it, and if it goes down, it could potentially be a game changer for you. Tempest continuing to scout. It looks like BorgBear is also getting out his scout as well. Tempest kind of following the same build as well, getting down the gateway here at the ramp. And I think Reaper is a little bit behind here, but that's okay because he is not actually commentating and we still love him anyways. Tempest throwing down a gas here and also chrono boosting his probes as well. Neither one of them is going to save too many chrono boosts for their gateways, it looks like, but we'll have to see what happens. BorgBear is going to seal off his ramp actually with a forge, so we might be seeing some early air, possibly a void ray rush. We'll have to see. A lot of times this is what you'll see with somebody who is rushing to air. They'll kind of block off the ramp here and put a cannon right here and kind of discourage any sort of early attacks. And yep, there's the side core going down as well as a second pylon. And meanwhile, Tempest is chrono boosting out a Zealot. I'm not too sure what his plan is with that. Probably just trying to protect against an early rush, which he has found the base now, so he should know that there's probably not an early rush coming, but we'll have to see. Meanwhile, it looks like Tempest does have a whole bunch of rally points queued up for this probe to kind of scout around the base. It's a really good idea to try to keep a scout in the opposing player's base, even after you've determined what their race is and kind of initially what they're building, so that way you can see if they do any fast tech switches and whatnot. And it looks like Tempest is going to continue to do the same thing, setting a whole bunch of rally points around the base to try to keep an eye on BorgBear and see what he's going here. Meanwhile, Tempest himself is throwing down a cybernetics core and is trying to chase around this probe. However, this probe of BorgBear is, wow, very lucky as he is getting around there. He is going to go ahead and set his rally points around the minerals, try to get an idea of what he is going. He does see that he has double gas, so we'll have to see what is going to come with that. Usually you don't see double gas unless you're going to see a whole bunch of high-tech units really early on, so we'll have to see what happens. Oh, and Borg putting down the probe to deny Tempest the probe, or put down a pylon to deny Tempest the probe kill, and that was definitely an epic win for BorgBear as he was able to get away that probe. And will he cancel this? Nope. Nope, yes, he was canceled at the very last second. So score 1 for BorgBear, and we will see how this game continues. And yes, thank you, Reaper. I would agree that was very cheesy, but nonetheless it worked, and Borg was able to get that probe out. So anyways, looks like both players continuing to kind of build up their probe count a little bit. Tempest looking like he has got out a Sentry. He is chrono boosting up that warp gate technology, which will definitely be handy later on in the game progresses. Borg still trying to kind of harass the Tempest Protoss player up here a little bit. We'll see what happens with that. Looks like he's just trying to distract him. Maybe bring his units down so that way he can kind of scoot in and see what's going on in Tempest's base. He is going to put a pylon down here. I do see this sometimes with players trying to deny an expansion. However, it looks like he realizes that Tempest is not going to expand there just yet, so he doesn't really need to put that there. Meanwhile, Tempest is going to continue to actually put pylons kind of along the edge of the base. It looks like this is going to be used to kind of detect any sort of airdrop strategy or a void rush. But we'll see how that goes here. Borg is chrono boosting up his warp gate technology as well, as well as getting out an observer. So looks like he does have the robotics facility down, and he will be able to see what is going on in Tempest Base. And I think actually, yep, there is one robotics facility there too. So we'll see. There might just be a high five of probes as they cross the middle map. No, it looks like he's going to get the Immortal first. Looks like he's going to sacrifice a little bit of scouting for the ability to take out those armored units really well. Immortals are such amazing units. I mean, they rip up pretty much anything, and they can take hits like trucks. So definitely a big fan of Immortals. And Borg is going to go ahead and get his expansion down here. Looks like he's going to block it off with a couple gateways that is going to leave enough room for him to get through right here, so in case he decides to attack. Although it looks like Borg is actually having some difficulty getting his units out, so he is going to go ahead and kill that cannon. Although I don't think that's going to clear enough for him. He might have to actually kill the forge as well to get that Immortal out. And yep, it sure is. That poor forge. Oh well, it did its job keeping Tempest out, and it has outlived its usefulness. So might see, yep, there goes one. Borg is putting down a forge right there at his expansion to kind of replace the forge that he is having to unfortunately kill. Meanwhile, it looks like Tempest is kind of guarding his expansion a little bit, maybe throwing it down soon, hard to say. He does have a good bit of stalkers, which it looks like he also has an Immortal as well. So Borg actually, he has a little bit less unit count, but I would say that Borg would probably be in a pretty good position right now to hold off any attack that Tempest does, especially since he has 2 of the Immortals and a whole bunch of Sentries, which can definitely turn the tide of a game. Borg also finishing his expansion and doing a probe transfer down here to the Natural. He is going to go ahead and continue to pump out a